Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about two notable NHL debuts as well as the drama from last night's Oilers Wild game. Now, before we start, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to see more hockey content like this. Now, let's start off by talking about the first of the debuts, and that was Owen Power yesterday debuting against the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. The 2021 first overall pick may have not recorded a goal or an assist on the night, but his team was able to get a 5-2 win over their hated Atlantic Division rival. Power himself, I know, didn't record a point or a shot on net or anything, but I have to say that I do think he did pretty well. He did have two shot attempts on the night, one being blocked and the other one going wide of the net. And I'm sure some people are going to be disappointed that there wasn't a lot of the traditional things where you can go, oh wow, this went really well for the guy, but there are some things that I think were really good takeaways from that game. For starters, Power played almost 20 minutes in his first NHL game, which was the fourth most for the Sabres, and ended up logging over 18 of those minutes at even strength. And at that time, I think things were pretty even when he was out on the ice against the Maple Leafs. It was pretty close in a lot of categories. I think that the Leafs were able to get a little bit more quality scoring chances, but overall it was better than I expected. And you have to consider the fact that a lot of those even strength minutes came against Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews. Those two didn't score in that time that Power was out on the ice, so that is a win any day in my book, especially for your first game in the NHL. And his most memorable point of the night, probably, I think a lot of people would agree with this, was that goal-saving play in the first where he stopped an almost guaranteed tap-in goal by Austin Matthews from Mark Giordano, and that was a 2-on-1, but Owen was able to get his stick in between his leg, and then Gio, of course, was trying to get it in between his legs so Austin Matthews could have that tap-in on that 2-on-1. That saves a goal. That's huge there, and I think that's really just a smart heads-up play because a lot of rookies get the legs open, and then for an experienced guy like Gio, he's able to just kick it in between the legs or get the puck in between there, and that could have been a goal. But outside of that, the top pick played about a minute and a half on the PK yesterday, gave up some chances, but to be expected against this really good Leafs team. They're lethal. But in closing, I'd like to say that Power was just a monster on the power play last night, just absolutely lethal and was dangerous in his outrageous 9 seconds. Of course, we are joking. If you're on the power play for 9 seconds, you're probably not able to do too much unless you get a goal or an assist in that time, but that was not the case. And going forward, I do hope we're able to see more of Owen's offensive capabilities. But, we'll have to see. Going up against Toronto, your first game, you're probably just worried about not getting burnt. So, overall, it's a quality debut against a really good team. Now, moving out west to Calgary, we get to see another notable NHL debut last night, and that, of course, was a 2021 second overall pick, Matty Beniers. Now, in case you didn't know, or you weren't tired of hearing it already, Power and Beniers were actually former teammates at the University of Michigan. And for the second Wolverine taken in the draft from last season, I'll just go out and say right now, that was a really good debut. I really liked it. Beniers was able to play a little over 17 minutes last night and was able to record a primary assist. He drew a penalty, I believe, that came in the third, but obviously his team lost 5-3 to the Flames. And I think just looking at some of these things, it was just really good to look at. The assist was an absolute beauty. It was a no-look pass to Ryan Donato, which gave Seattle a 1-0 lead. So talk about a heck of an assist, no-look pass, give your team the lead in the first. And obviously they didn't win, but it was a good start there. And then, looking at that too, those two of Donato and Beniers could be lethal going forward as they play together for Team USA and in the IIHF World Championships and train at the same Boston gym. And that potential great chemistry showed last night with Donato, Beniers, and Eberle being a line that was very good for Seattle last night, especially at 5-on-5 where they had an expected goals for of 73.8%. That's very, very good, in case you didn't know. And Beniers also played on the power play as well last night, logging a minute and a half out on the ice and on the man advantage, where he recorded his lone shot on goal in his debut. And I would just like to say, for Power and I think for Matty, those were great debuts. And while only one ended up getting their win, I think that it was good. And for Seattle, they're getting Matty as a guy that is high motor, that is fast, and I think exactly what he needs, or what they need right now, is playmaking is crucial. So overall, great night for both, and they are going to be interesting to see. Could be trouble for the league. Now, speaking of other trouble, we're talking about the kind of trouble that Minnesota forward Ryan Hartman got last night with a nice $4,250 fine for flipping off Evander Kane in Minnesota's 5-1 win over the Edmonton Oilers. So, this was the talk of the league after all of, the hype ended with those debuts. And I guess gotta say that I don't think I'm bothered by it. This stems from Kane going after the Wild's best player in Kirill Kaprizov, who's a young guy, a guy that is a very big piece of their success. And then, Hartman just stood up, and I think everybody has had certain players they're sick of, and in this case, some people don't like Evander Kane, and I think that it's fine. It doesn't really bother me. I love our game because I think you're allowed to get away with more stuff like this compared to other sports. And of course, it's not like Evander Kane is a saint. He's not out here giving to the poor, going to, some religious service, and then just, doing all these holy things all the time or anything like that. And at the end of the day, I think it was really more funny than anything else. And while I would not promote doing that to somebody that you don't like, please handle things better than that. I do hope that it gets more attention on the NHL. And yeah, I think that. So what are your thoughts on all those things? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, I wanted to say, if you are in the Midwest like me, please be safe tonight. We have a ton of very severe storms coming in. Looks like we could be dealing with a high chance of tornadoes. So please, please, please stay safe, stay home if you can, and make sure you're in a place where you can get shelter. Hopefully for me, fingers crossed as well, we'll be able to get through this and nothing crazy happens. But everybody stay safe. Have a great night. Eagle of Hockey, all right. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.